Hi there, I'm Debra, the editor and publisher of Odyssey Magazine, and for this conference, this electronic and teleconference, I'm coming to you live from our home office, and so you may hear the occasional hardy-dar, the meowing of one of my cats, or the barking of one of the dogs. And for that I apologize, but in these times, we need to do what we can with what we have available. Odyssey Magazine is 43 years old this year, and this grand old lady has been focusing on holistic healing, green living, and conscious living for 43 years and 230 editions. For us, green living, conscious living, holistic living is not a fad, it's not new age, it's a way of being and has been for a long time. It also represents a way of being for many of our readers, our contributors, and our advertisers. And today we're going to talk to you about green living and how that affects us holistically from a personal health and a planetary health perspective. I would just like to share a quote with you before we continue, and it's by Mari Colvin, and it really represents what we feel at Odyssey about putting across our message of holistic living and holistic lifestyles. Be passionate and involved in what you believe in, and do it as thoroughly, honestly, and as fearlessly as you can. And that again, as I say, is by Mari Colvin. The global cause that has put a spotlight on the environment and provided us with an opportunity to understand better and be more aware of our planetary health. We can hope that by being able to see nature's beauty and resilience during this time of reduced human activity has inspired all of us to take action towards sustainable prosperity if we were not doing so before. I think we have all noticed in our own homes and our own gardens that the bird life and the butterflies have been far more prolific. We've also noticed, I certainly have where I live on the south coast of KZN, that we have more dolphin and whales now at this time than ever before. The whale pods are back in abundance, and previously in May we might have seen one or two. We've also seen dolphin on the news coming into the canals of Venice. With the pollution being limited now, they are able to move freely about the canals, which is absolutely beautiful. And in addition, we've seen some reports from India that where previously in Delhi you could not see the skyline from the smog. When people are taking photos now, the sky is beautifully blue. And so we have seen the beauty and splendor that Mother Nature and our Mother Earth has to offer during this time of global pause caused by the coronavirus. If we look at the World Health Organization, they define health, and I'll read it to you. Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. Now that was developed in 1948. In 2002, they added that health included personal health, as personal health was dependent on planetary health. So personal and planetary health were added into their definition of health. And I think green living is all about personal health as a result of planetary health, and planetary health as a result of our efforts as mankind, as a people. The things we're going to be looking at today are living a circular life, moving towards zero waste, the rise of the green generation, and how green technology can actually impact our lives beneficially moving forward. And on that note, I would like to take you into a guided visualization, a meditation, just to connect and give gratitude to Mother Earth for all the abundance that she brings to us. So what I'm going to ask you to do now is to make yourself comfortable wherever you're sitting, in your workspace, in your home space, wherever it is for you, on a chair or on the floor. I'm going to ask you to place your hands gently in your lap. At some point I'll ask you to move one hand facing up and the other hand facing downward. So one facing up toward the heaven and the other one downward toward the earth. And I'd like you to close your eyes for this meditation as it enables us to go within. And so please now close your eyes, place your hands gently in your laps, and just make yourselves comfortable in the chair or on the floor or wherever you're sitting. Whether you're working from home, at home, in a workspace, take these few minutes just to allow yourself to bask in gratitude for the earth's incredible bounty and incredible beauty. To start, I would like to sit mindfully. Feel the chair as you sit on it. Feel the backrest if you are sitting on the floor. Feel your buttocks on the foundation below you. Feel your clothing gently touching your body. And now feel your feet physically connecting with the earth. Visualize the bare ground underneath the floor, the foundation that supports you, and connect with the earth. In your mind, perhaps you'd like to visualize some roots going down under from your feet, down through the foundation, right into the earth, deep below the building that you are in. Place one hand facing upward in your lap and one hand facing downward, one allowing the heavens to witness your meditation and the other allowing the earth. We are now going to take 4 deep breaths together, and then you will take 4 deep breaths on your own. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, now holding, 2, 3, 4, release, 2, 3, 4, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, holding, 2, 3, 4, and releasing, 2, 3, 4, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, holding, 2, 3, 4, releasing, 2, 3, 4, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, holding, 2, 3, 4, and releasing, 2, 3, 4. Now on your own, bring your awareness to your senses. You should notice sounds, smells, and sensations coming from the environment around you. So continue now just to flow with your breathing, flowing gently with the rhythm of your breath. Without judgment, simply notice the sensory input your body is experiencing, continuing to flow with the rhythm of your breath. Now, bring your awareness into your heart center. As you inhale, imagine you're filling your heart with love, and imagine that love spreading throughout your body. With each breath, feel the love in your heart expanding outward to fill the space around you, continuing to grow steadily. And as you fill your heart with overflowing love, bring to your mind the many things you are grateful for. You may think of your own healthy body, people you love, nourishing food, clean water and air in a comfortable home. Feel the power of your gratitude, amplifying the love radiating from your heart, and see it spreading out, encompassing the entire planet. Bring to your mind the many things you are grateful for. Feel the power of your gratitude amplifying that love, and that love encompassing the entire planet. shift your focus to the earth. Consider that everything you experience, love, and feel grateful for is made possible by this incredible planet that sustains you. The air you breathe, the water you drink, the food you eat, and the materials that build your home, and the clothing you wear, all come from the life-giving planet you call home. Please take this time now to silently thank the earth for all that you appreciate in your life. Expand your appreciation to all that exists simultaneously and harmoniously on the planet. Thank the earth now for all that you appreciate in your life. And now we're going to close with this mantra, which we're going to repeat 3 times. Healing the earth begins with my own healing. Love on the planet begins with love in my own heart. Healing the earth begins with my own healing. Love on the planet begins with love in my own heart. Healing the earth begins with my own healing. Love on the planet begins with love in my own heart. Gently come back into your space. Open your eyes and make yourselves comfortable in your space. What I'd like to focus on now is living a circular life. And what does that mean? It's really a circular life to get to a space towards zero waste. And to get to zero waste, we need to rethink, reuse, reduce, reroute, and recycle. What do I mean by rethink? Mindful shopping and mindful provisioning, buying only those items that can leave again without going via a bin. Having an edible garden, purchasing locally grown products, and reducing consumption of non-organic, processed, and damaging products. Also reusing bags, containers, returning refillable containers to the service providers, repairing things versus replacing them, and also swapping clothes versus buying new clothes. Clothes swaps can be wonderful and can develop an entirely new style. Also making compost from garden, kitchen, food and waste, and then rerouting all the unwanted functional things to charity shops. Recycling should be a solution when all other options are completely exhausted. There's no silver bullet to stop plastic pollution, and we're not going to be able to recycle our way out of the problem. We're also not going to be able to reduce our way out of the problem. Today, about a quarter of everything consumers place in recycling bins ultimately can't be recycled. This includes rubber hoses, wire, low-grade plastics, and many other items. Glass and metals, including aluminium, can effectively be recycled indefinitely without a loss in quality. In fact, aluminium cans have the highest value amongst recycled commodities. It is true that every time paper is recycled, the fibers become more compromised and more damaged. However, the quality of recycled paper today has improved dramatically over past years. Plastic can often be recycled once or twice, and that's because the polymers eventually break down in the recycling process. We need to say no to single-use plastics. Single-use plastics are commonly used in grocery bags, food packaging, bottles, straws, containers, cups, and cutlery. And South Africa currently consumes 1.5 tons of plastic, 1.5 tons of plastic annually, which is only 21% recyclable. Most of it ends up in landfill, rivers, on our beaches, and in our oceans. Recycling aluminium, however, saves 95% of the energy needed to make new cans from raw materials. Recycling steel and tin cans saves 60 to 74%, and recycling paper saves about 60%. Recycling plastic and glass saves about 1/3 of the energy compared to making those products from virgin materials. In fact, the energy saved by recycling one glass bottle can operate a 100-watt light bulb for 4 hours. It kind of makes you think it's a lot of energy that we generate when we manufacture things from scratch as opposed to recycling what we have. Recycling helps to reduce litter, which has also been known to spread disease like bacterial or fungal infections. It creates jobs. And while critics have argued that recycling can lull the public into a false sense of security and solve all the world's environmental problems, most experts say it's still a valuable tool against the fight against climate change, pollution, and other major issues on our planet right now. It is very important that as a population, as a global community, we push for change, because change has generally only come about throughout history by people demanding it. We need to demand ways of getting our homes towards zero waste. We need to be the voice to the retailers. We need to be the voice to industry. We need to be the voice to government. They need to hear us pushing for change. We are seeing now the rise of the new generation. This new green generation is the catalyst for the new green economy. And the green generation that is rising is made up primarily of millennials, age groups about 24 to 37 or thereabouts. They're smart, they're ambitious, they're hardworking, and they are strongly eco-conscious. They've been born into a world with economic changes. They've been born into a world with ecological changes, and they are known for their strong entrepreneurial spirit and their desire to be successful. More importantly, they are the most eco-conscious generation to date. More than 80% of millennials believe that eco-friendliness is the way to improve their quality of life and the quality of life for those around them. Having grown up in a world of global warming, depleted natural resources, and an increase in landfills and dumps, millennials have taken it upon themselves to act as eco-warriors. Whilst many millennials have limited financial means, they are still willing to pay a premium for sustainable products. Their unwavering belief in adopting eco-friendly practices and the ability to enrich their lives means that they are highly motivated to make sustainable living choices. This eco-consciousness is one of the primary traits of the new green generation of the millennials. They are using technology to enhance their lives, and it is an essential part of their everyday living. This has seen them opt for devices and appliances that make their lives highly functional and less complicated. This combination of tech savvy and eco-friendliness has seen the millennials take the concept of green living to the next generation, to the next level, and hence the rise of this green generation. And this is where smart meets green. Smart, sustainable living is the home life nirvana for millennials, or the new green generation. They are opting for greener technologies, renewable energy, carbon offsetting, and smart homes to support their desire to minimize the impact on the environment and reduce the carbon footprint. Core to this is energy efficiency and better resource conservation and utilization. If you look at the slide, you will notice on the bottom graph that there is a percentage of those who agree that they would pay more for eco-friendly products. If we look at Gen Z, the 16 to 21-year-olds, 58%, the millennials, 61%, Gen X, which is 36 to 54-year-olds, 55%, and the baby boomers, the 55 to 64-year-olds. And you will see that certainly the dominant percentages are in the millennials and Gen Z in comparison. A lot of the new generation, or the rising green generation, are technology centric, and we need to look at green technologies and how they are being developed and how they are going to impact green living going forward. Certainly, we have seen certified appliances with Energy Star certifications coming onto the South African markets, and this is a key feature in terms of the green generation when they buy appliances. They prioritize smart, energy efficient equipment over the traditional cheap technologies of prior generations. They're also looking more at smart home systems. For example, this includes smart thermostats, which keep home temperatures at stable levels and reduce energy consumption and wastage, where typically what would happen is you would constantly manually being adjusting heat and cooling temperatures, which uses a huge amount of energy consumption. And so smart thermostats certainly manage energy usage. Also, there is a lot of development currently being done on energy generating fabrics, and whilst energy generating fabrics are not yet on the market, they are being developed, and these fabrics will capture the kinetic energy generated by the movement of the human body and will enable the green generation to charge their smartphones, their devices, their smartwatches, as well as many other devices like their Bluetooth headphones and so on. We are also seeing that the new generation, the green generation, whether they be millennials, baby boomers, or Gen X, despite their fast-paced lives, ambition and responsibilities, are taking a much more considered approach to their environments. They seek places of tranquility, of simplicity and eco-friendliness, with a preference for homes and apartments that are enabling to create a soothing sanctuary for themselves and their families. As a result, the development of green healthy buildings is on the rise, as is community gardens, as well as other green living initiatives. And certainly those living in high-rise apartments, we are seeing a lot of communal gardens, rooftop gardens coming to the fore, which not only provides food, but certainly makes use of an otherwise completely underutilized space. We are also seeing the development of solar roof tiles and solar paint. And while solar panels have been around for a long time, solar paint and solar tile development is truly underway. In the first edition of Odyssey Magazine on the 7th of July 1977, one of the lead articles was about solar panels. And quite honestly, solar panels haven't changed that much now as they have from then. So the reality is that solar tiles and solar paint, getting a bit tongue-tied here, solar tiles and solar paint are truly the next generation of solar energy. Many millennials actually own companies that are involved in the development of these products. And we will be able to install solar roof tiles and paint our roofs with solar paint going forward. Very soon, I would expect to harness the energy of the sun in an aesthetically pleasing and sustainable manner. There's been a lot of talk on television programs and amongst the car folk and the petrol heads about the reality of electric and battery powered vehicles. Electric vehicles come now at a significant financial cost, and there is really no opportunity or no provision to charge these vehicles. And they're not really a genuine option at this time. But technology is developing, and these cars are becoming more cost effective, and they will eventually be chosen over the fossil fuel powered counterparts by the rising green generation. The increase in eco-consciousness is on the rise and is not going to change. We look at the millennials now making up most of the workforce and holding a significant buying power. And we will continually see the introduction of new technologies, sustainable packaging, and reduced waste initiatives to meet their needs. In addition, we're likely to see a different level of eco-consciousness in the future and with future generations, because they will have grown up with the direction of millennials. I have to say, though, at this point, this is not the role of any one population group, of any one age group. The new green generation and green living initiatives are the responsibility of every citizen of the global village, every citizen of the world. We know that life changes all the time, and I think we have become so aware of that now with this pandemic and the lockdown, and having had to look at ways to creatively respond to this change and embrace the change and effect this change. And quite simply, if we look at this, our role on earth is to reduce waste and to leave the earth in better health than where we found her. Let's just think about that again. To reduce waste and leave the earth in better health health than where we found her. This global pause, the coronavirus, has caused activity to shut down. It has brought the world to a large extent to a standstill. It has also slashed greenhouse gas emissions and air pollution around the world. If there was ever something positive to take from this crisis, it is how it's offered us a glimpse into the future of low carbon emissions. The World Health Organization estimates that 3 million people every year are hospitalized due to ailments caused by air pollution, and that more than 80% of people living in urban areas live with air pollution beyond safe levels. 2 weeks after the national lockdown was announced in the UK, nitrous oxide pollution in some cities fell by almost 60% as compared to the same time in 2019. A highly poisonous gas, it was revealed that nitrogen dioxide over New York and other major metropolitan areas of the northeastern USA was 30% lower in March 2020 compared to the monthly average from 2015 to 2019. We've also seen a massive decline in energy consumption, reducing emissions in South Africa. Since the national lockdown began in South Africa, electricity usage has dropped by more than 7,500 megawatts a day, which is roughly 1/3 of South Africa's average daily usage. This is largely due to mining and manufacturing having shut down to a large extent because they contribute to about 60% of our national energy consumption. We're hoping, however, that this time and this reduced consumption will enable us to have a load-shedding free winter, and we've hoped this has given us Eskom time to repair their power stations. I guess we'll just have to see on that. On the next slide, you will see the cover of our Odyssey Magazine Green Living Winter Edition. In this edition, we focus on unlocking the green economy, looking at pure natural and organic alternatives. We look at sustainable living and green design of homes, buildings, and commercial buildings, using things like hemp, reusing containers, and hopefully in time using bamboo. We will be looking at bamboo as an option in a sustainable living in Bali inset because it's very much used as a building material there. However, in the South African context, it is not yet ratified, although a great change is being advocated with municipalities, with government, to have it recognized as an acceptable building material. We're also looking at conscious builds and renovations, whether you're renovating a small bathroom, renovating most of your home, or building a new home. We're looking at ways to do it consciously with green building in mind. And also we have to take into account that there are financial considerations and looking at the options that make sense for the average person, the average man on the street. We're also taking a look at climate change in this edition and the principle that people need to change. For climate change to reduce, for climate change to improve, we need people to change. And we're looking at ways that we can do that in the earth plane. And in our Earth Custodian column in the Green Living edition, we look at the ravages of mining, particularly in the South African landscape. Thank you for listening to me. I hope there weren't too many background noises from helicopters, hardy-dars, dogs, cats, and various other intrusions. It's been really lovely chatting to you today. It's all very new to me, doing raw videos. Debra Unplugged is something that I haven't really had much experience with, and so thank you for bearing with me. What I'd like to do to end today is to do a prayer, and I'd like to do the prayer of 7 directions, which we do standing up. So if you'd stand up now in your workplace, in your home, wherever you find yourself, and turn and face the east. This is where the sun comes up, and now close your eyes. Facing east is the direction of new beginnings, of hope, of promise and potential. Pray now, pray today, that you may be open to receiving these gifts. Please note, each turn will be a quarter to your right. Now turn south. This is the direction of warmth, growth, fertility, also known as creativity and productivity. In addition, this direction represents faith, trust, and faithfulness in relationships. Pray for these things today. Now turn west. This is the direction of where the sun goes down. Thus, it is the direction of rest. It's where our dreams live. It's a place of closure and endings that need to take place in order for there to be new beginnings. Pray for these things today. Now turn north. This is the direction of the cold, of winds, of strength, of courage, fortitude, might, of single-mindedness, focus, clarity, and purpose. Pray for these things today. Turn back up to the east. Turn your face upward now. For the Native Americans, this is the direction of Father Sky. Pray that your heart, mind, soul, and spirit will not forget to look upward this day, to the one who's so much greater than we are. Now turn your face downward and touch our Mother, the Earth, and pray that everything you do this day will be in honor and in reverence of our Mother Earth. Now turn your attention inward. Place your hand on your heart and pray that all you do this day will be true to the Spirit of God, the great Creator, the all that is, the great Spirit who dwells within you. This is taken from a Sioux Native American prayer. Thank you.